Welcome to lesson 5. In this lesson we'll put to practice what we've learnt in the past 4 lessons. We're going to be looking at an example site which I've made, which features most of everything from the past 4 lessons. In this example website there's quite a lot of PHP files and some standard HTML files. We've also got an avatars directory where the user's avatars will be stored. Let's begin by looking at the install.php file. So currently now it's got include and it makes reference to the connect.php file. So this means run the connect.php file. So we go to that and it's just our standard database connection, and this is the database to select, example site. So we go back here and this is just standard table creation. Just creates user data and the table posts. So firstly you'd have to log into MySQL and you would have to say create database example site, and then you would have to press enter, but I've already done that. So once you've finished that, you just say use example site and it's there. So now we have to go to the install.php file, and we've put no text output, but it's been run. So if you want to check if it's done, you just go show tables and both the tables are there. Now we're just going to have a look at the HTML files on the website. So let's go there. This is the index page. Sign up is just a form. Login's another form. Alright, so now we'll check the register.php file. So firstly we just have some HTML. This is the top section of the sign up page. So it's just that. Then we've got some PHP code. This is just the variables that come from the form, and we've got the IP address of the user, which comes from using the global server variable. We've got the font. This is so everything can have the same font, and this just is a check to see if any of the variables are missing, and if they are, it outputs the message for that variable. So if username is missing but these two are the same, it'll still run this and it'll just go to username and say please enter a username, and it will skip these other two, and if anything's wrong it'll just exit, so which means it won't run any more of the PHP script since it's not useful. Here we have a check to see if the passwords match. It's a string comparison, it's binary safe, and you just put password and password 2, which is this one, password and password 2, and if it doesn't match you just output an error message and exit the script. Now we just connect to the database using the connect script. Next we have MD5, and that's MD5ing the username and the password. So that's just a one-way hash, so it's pretty unlikely that anyone will be able to crack that. Minimum I recommend would be about 8 characters in plain text. Okay, then we do a check if the username exists. So we do select everything from user data where the user's real name equals username real. So that was the category, so we'll just go here, describe user data. So username real is the user's real name, which since this is the MD5 name, and that just gets the rows. If it's equal to 1 or more than 1, it outputs an error message, exits the script. If that's all fine, then it just checks how many users are in the table and then just outputs the number of users to this variable, and then we want to increment that number, so we do +1, and we're going to store that in the query, but we have to make the directory first. So avatars / the user's real name, and that makes the directory, and then we insert all the values we have. So that's MD5 username, MD5 password, the user number, which is this, the real username, and the IP address, and these two are just blanks. And then we just print out a successful message to the user. Okay, so let's try this out. So a username Alex, password Alex, retype password Alex, create, account Alex has been created successfully. We'll go and check this out by selecting everything from user data. And as you can see, it's successfully been created with these, the avatar and about me, as blanks. Alright, let's go check the login PHP file. So we've got starting the session, the Internet Explorer 6 fix, global font, the form variable which we're putting into SF, the submitted form check, the variables that come from the form, the username and the password, checking to see if they're filled in, MD5ing them, and adding them to the session. We now include top.php, which we'll go on to later, and validate user. This is a function, so if it returns true, then you can include the connect file, get the username from the session, and then the user's logged in, so we want to find out their real name, so we select username real from user data, where username, and this was the user's name, the username's MD5. So we just query the database. We know it's going to be only one row and only one result, so we put 00 there, and name user, and it says welcome name user. And if this is false, because there's only two, true or false, so that's why the else is there, it will be incorrect username and password. So let's try that out. Alex, and it goes in welcome Alex, and we've got new menu options here. So let's go check out top.php. Okay, top.php, we include a validate user file, so validate user.php, and this is the function which was before in login. So this just says if it's true, then we've got this HTML, which was all of this, the menu, and else this will display the old menu, which was before we were logged in. Okay, so this is the function validate user. If there's a username variable in the session, we include